Hey there, Leo. Welcome to your reading for the week of October 4th. We're going to jump right in here, Leo, and we are going to look at your current general energies in this first row right here. Then we're going to look at what you don't see coming in this second row here. So this looks pretty good. I like this bearing fruit card. And look at this. This looks really nice, Leo. In your last row, we're going to look at any messages from your future self. We're also going to double clarify this reading, kind of like I did last week. We're going to clarify it, and then we're going to clarify it again with the Oracle of the Radiant Sun. And then I'm going to pull three cards at the end, and I'm going to give you time to think of one question, and I will try to answer it, kind of like a personal reading, personal-ish reading, I'm calling it, where I answer your question without knowing what it is. Leo, we're going to see how that goes. But you start off with this peace card. I kind of feel this is something you're trying to maintain. You know, I feel that you're trying to maybe maintain a certain level of peace in your life. This could be in any area of your life. Really, I feel it's your whole life. It's funny that you have the Five of Pentacles here, and I keep having the Ten of Pentacles popping into my head with that Five of Pentacles. And I'm not saying, to me, Ten of Pentacles is pretty much everything you want in your life. So Ten of Pentacles, to me, can be more of a vision, something that we work towards, right? Because it's kind of like building or leaving a legacy. The Five of Pentacles tells me that you've had some disappointments in the past, I feel. I really just feel these are past disappointments, honestly, the Five of Pentacles. I don't really feel that you feel left out in the cold anymore. I feel you don't want to be left out in the cold, obviously. I mean, who does? But, maybe it's just something that's on your mind. The whole, like, having been left out in the cold or not having enough resources. Could be financial or otherwise. And I feel you're just trying to maintain the peace, like I said, not a bad thing. You have the Five of Pentacles, the Page of Cups, and the Seven of Wands. Again, this could be love. There could be a love offer, coming in for you, obviously. Could be from a water sign. You have Earth here as well. Could be any sign. This is a general reading, but so take it how it resonates. But the Seven of Wands kind of says that maybe you're kind of putting up some, boundaries, or maybe you need to open up a little bit more. Even if we go like this way, you go Seven of Wands, Eight of Wands to the Emperor, it's like literally saying, that it's safe for you to open up communication with a person. Even if we go this way, Five of Pentacles, Eight of Wands, Page of Pentacles. Page of Pentacles is like a card of receiving messages or communication. So I kind of feel that if you're interested in a person, that this person could actually, maybe you're seeing them as the Page of Cups, right? Page of Cups, very dreamy, imaginative, maybe not fully mature, but maybe they're actually an emperor or, take how it resonates, whatever gender, it doesn't matter. But, I kind of feel for those of you that want love, this could be a person who's much better than you think. I also feel the same thing in business. I feel for some of you that you might have your idea, it might have an idea in like business to do something new in your business, and you might be thinking it's like a little bit of a immature decision is what I mean to say. You might feel like you're rushing, which is kind of interesting, but I actually feel like it's a good idea, whatever you're thinking about doing. The Seven of Wands is a card of commitment, and it's a card of conviction as well. He knows that he's going to be successful. And look at this, Leo. Is it going to focus? I don't know. How do I get this to focus? Look at 10-10 right there. So I feel that he knows that something is going to be successful for him, and because he knows that it's going to be successful, it is. It's like this is a card of a believing something so deeply that you do become successful, right? But what I would say here is that I kind of feel that there could be something that you're working on that's actually much more is going to be much more well received than you think. For whatever reason, this Five of Pentacles to me is saying, don't give up. I feel like I'm getting the words like initial impression, like, your initial impression, your initial kind of maybe first couple of tries at doing something new for your business or in your career might not work. I kind of feel for whatever reason that this is saying, no, stick with it. That's not what the Five of Pentacles means. But again, as I always say, I read intuitively. I don't just regurgitate card meanings. And, I kind of get this need to not give up on something but this is very specifically work or career. I feel like if there's love coming in for you, new person. It's not saying don't give up on the past. I feel like this is definitely a new person coming in for you. But again, in work or business, if you have a new idea, like the first couple of tries, I don't know, that's how it's popping into my head. Is like the first couple of tries, maybe things don't go as well as you want. But I feel like if you keep going, then it's going to start working very, very, very well. Here you go with the Five of Pentacles. Again, you're jumping into something new. Your intentions are in the right place. he has this white rose back here, and the white rose in the tarot, it kind of represents pure intentions. It kind of says that your ideas, your thoughts, your plans are going in the right direction. But, again, he's going on a very long journey. So, I feel for a lot of you, this is basically saying any ideas you have for money or for your career, or it could be anything else, it could be like your health or something like that as well, to keep pushing forward. Don't give up. I get that feeling on that Five of Pentacles. With the Page of Cups, look, if this is a person, it's everything you've wished for. You have the Nine of Cups here. I feel like this person has more than enough to give, which is interesting. I'm seeing this as a person's energy in your life. And again, take out resonates. It might not be love. This could be just like a business partner or a person who's coming in to help you. I almost feel like he could be like handing out those cups behind him, which is interesting. That's not how I read the Nine of Cups. There are some like older tarot books and stuff that talk about the Nine of Cups, that those cups, like he's kind of like a barkeep, right? That he could be passing those cups out. He could be the person that is providing fulfillment to the people that come to him, right? The guy on the Nine of Cups here. Again, I don't usually read it that way, but it is interesting that it's kind of like popping into my head that way. I feel for a lot of you that you could just be attracting a person who is like very fulfilled on their own, and because of that, they're able to like give to many situations. They're not giving to people. That's not what I'm suggesting here. I feel maybe they just can handle like having a full-on business or career themselves, and they can handle having a relationship and staying healthy and everything. This person seems like someone who's just kind of got it together. Let's put it that way. And I also feel this could partially be because it looks like you're getting it together, or maybe you have gotten it together already here, Leo. I don't know. I like this. With the Seven of Wands, you have the Six of Wands, success. Again, keep pushing forward. Here's the thing. I get this major vibe here that something, it's like the first couple of tries. That's the best way I can put it, Leo, or just maybe it just seems like something isn't going according to plan. For some of you, this could be moving, I'm getting as well. It's like maybe you're thinking about moving and you've been trying, or you've been trying to come up with some ideas on how you could do it. I say this mostly because we have that Eight of Wands, but you also have the Four of Wands, which Four of Wands can be like a commitment to a new location where you're going to have a celebration. And you have the Ace of Swords, which is sometimes also considered a moving card. And I really feel like this is saying, no, it's going to take like a couple more tries. I don't know how else to say it, but that's what I would be doing if I were you. Next, in the area of what you don't see coming, you have this Bearing Fruit card. And again, this is kind of like, I don't really feel there's anything unexpected in your reading. Again, as I always say, I title the different rows different things, but if I don't feel it, I don't feel it. I don't try to force my readings to say something that they don't. So I don't really feel that it's unexpected that you're going to be successful, because obviously you're trying to do something here. Like again, if you're trying to move, you might have some hesitations. You might have some thoughts that it's not going to work out, because again, I feel like you're going to have to try a couple times. But what I would say is that it's going to be successful is what this is saying to me, whatever you're trying to do. So is it really unexpected? I'd say kind of ish, because maybe there's some signs that something isn't going to work out, but it actually is. But I would also say not really, because you've already, I feel like you've set out to accomplish whatever is bearing fruit in your life, whether it's being in a relationship, like I said, moving, starting a business, whatever. You have the Judgment card, the Eight of Wands, and the Four of Wands. You have a lot of communication here, Leo. I don't want to forget, so I'm going to tell you right now. You have this card and this card, both communication cards. Ace of Swords, communication. Page of Pentacles, communication. It's kind of like striking me that you could be feeling a calling to, do something like change your life. These people are standing in these coffins. The coffin represents their old life. Outside the coffin represents their new life. So they need to kind of step into their new life. That's the whole point of the Judgment card, is that, again, outside the coffin represents their new life. So I feel for a lot of you, you're being called towards something new, but you kind of maybe still have like one foot in the past, which is the coffin on the card. And you have the Eight of Wands as well. I kind of feel like the Eight of Wands is saying you need to remember that you manifested this, that maybe you've been asking for a change, or you've been asking for love, or you've been asking for health, or a business, or a career, or a job. So I feel like you've been asking for this, and I feel this is just saying you need to cross the finish line, right? Four of Wands is a card of marriage. It's also a card of a celebration. There's kind of like this finish line right here. It's this garland thing. I always look at the Four of Wands as a card of kind of completing one thing and moving on to the next, because it's a portal card. You're crossing through this portal to celebrate with these people on the other side of the card. And when you go have the celebration, you're kind of like committing to something new. That's why it's a marriage card. You might not literally be getting married, but you might be committing to a new business, a new career, a new job, a new location, moving somewhere, right? And whatever it is, it's going to be a big celebration, is what this is saying to me. With the Judgment card, you have the High Priestess. Definitely trust your intuition. Again, I always say that. I feel Leos are like the most underrated intuitives in the zodiac. So, I feel like you're very intuitive at this time. I would trust your intuition. Some of you could even have a Pisces in your life already, or you could have one that is helping you in some way. I kind of feel, for some of you, it could be a lot of Page of Cups, Pisces here. You've had a Pisces in the past. But what I would say here is I would also trust your intuition. And if you just have like a friend who's a Pisces or a person in your life who is a Pisces, I feel like could be very helpful, or maybe their intuition is very helpful here as well. With the Eight of Wands, you have the Page of Swords, a lot of page energy. Again, I get this feeling of immaturity, just in general. I mean, that's what pages represent, but, I kind of get this energy of thinking that something isn't ready, or thinking that you're not ready, or maybe thinking that something is less than it actually is. And I'm not saying, again, I think that there needs to be balance between kind of like jumping right into things and taking a risk right now, because I definitely encourage people to jump right into things at this time, but I also can see how, I also kind of feel it's one of those things where I think it's better to take a calculated risk, one where you have done your research, right? I think the easiest way to do this it's kind of like there's a book, Thinking Fast and Slow. That's like the energy that I always feel in these readings. It's like I feel we have to take risks really, really quickly, but I think we also have to think about it and be able to know that we're making a good decision, if that makes sense. So what I keep encouraging people to do is trust the evidence, right? It's like if you're dealing with a person, can they match up their words with their actions? And you might be saying, well, that's always true, and it is, but I also think that we can get swept up in the fantasy, Neptune and Pisces, right? So I think it's too easy to get swept up in the fantasy, and that's why we have to trust actions, not words. Even though that might sound like obvious advice, I don't think it is right now. So I would be trusting the evidence. Same thing in work or business. It's like, can you look at the things you're doing in your business and honestly say, yes, doing X, Y, and Z is making me more money, or it's growing my business. If you can't, then either you need to figure out how to do that, meaning you need to be tracking the things that you're doing in work and business so that you can tell if it's actually working or not, whatever it is you're doing. I keep telling people you got to be a data nerd right now, especially in business. And if it's not working, then you need to try something else. With the Four of Wands, you have the Five of Wands. Some of you I feel like are conflicted about love. I think everybody is, obviously, but but I kind of feel that you're probably going to take the risk anyway, go on the adventure. With the Five of Wands, no arguments at this time as well. Mars going retrograde, at the end of the month. I would be careful of like arguing with people or starting arguments with the Five of Wands. At the end here for messages from your future self, you have the Shield card. It says you are safe from harm. So I kind of feel like you are protected at this time, obviously, from any harm or anything that could be harming you at this time. I feel very stable here. I also feel that you have the Emperor, obviously, the Ace of Swords, and the Page of Pentacles. The Emperor has a shield. He actually has a shield right here on his shoulder. And I feel like you kind of are protected by having like a solid plan. So anything that you're thinking of doing, I think if you can set out and say, like, I'm going to follow these rules, I'm going to stick to this plan in whatever you're doing, then you're going to be successful. And you're not going to have to worry too much about, again, taking these big risks. So what am I talking about? Like, if you get into a relationship, maybe there's some things you've noticed that are big red flags. So what should you do? Get into a relationship, stick to your plan of saying, if this person displays these red flags, I'm out. If you stick to the plan, you'll be fine. The problem is we set these plans sometimes and we are like, well, they maybe have these red flags, but they also have a six-pack, so I'm going to stay, right? Bad idea, especially with this right here. I would say it doesn't matter how good they look. If they got the red flags, I would leave. Stick to the plan. Same thing in business. It's like maybe you need to come up with a plan for your business and say, you know what, I want to get X amount of new customers this month. It's like, how can I do that? What kind of plan can you come up with? If it works, great. If it doesn't work, change the plan. Come up with a new plan, but at least test the plan is what that's saying to me. You have the Ace of Swords. If you do that, you will be victorious. So I feel there are some pretty big victories coming in for you, or big wins. I also feel like there's good news coming in for you. Obviously, you have a ton of communication here, and the Ace of Swords would be kind of like good news or a victory. You also have the Page of Pentacles, so I feel that someone could be communicating with you as well. This is kind of like communication all over the place. I feel like there could be communication coming in. You could be communicating things and putting things out. I feel like communication all the way around. So this definitely feels like a new person to me if you're looking for love, if you don't already have it. So that's what I see there. Could be someone you meet on the internet. Again, Eight of Wands is my card of social media. The Ace of Swords is my card of like internet dating or being on the internet or something. So I kind of feel you could be meeting someone online. With the Emperor, you have the Eight of Pentacles. Yeah, stick to a plan. Eight of Pentacles is a card of diligence. It's like he's working on one thing and focusing on it. I've been talking about this a lot. It's kind of weird that like all of a sudden, I've been getting this message of like people really needing to kind of do one thing at a time. And that's what I would do here. I would come up with a plan and just stick to it. Whatever the plan is, doesn't even matter. With the Ace of Swords, you have the Six of Swords improvements. I feel like there are major improvements coming in for you at this time. It's like you're moving on to calmer shores. You're moving on to peace, You're moving out of choppy waters to kind of like a peaceful side of things. With the Page of Pentacles, I told you, lovers. Definitely new love coming in for you. Could be a Gemini as well. Could be any sign, general reading, but there is some air here. So could be a Gemini, could be an air sign, earth sign, water sign. You have basically everything here, so could be any sign, but there you go. We're going to clarify this now with the Oracle of the Radiant Sun to take it one step deeper. So let's see what is going on for you here, Leo. With the Five of Pentacles and the Fool, you have this optimism card. Something is making you very happy, or something is making you feel like you can start this new journey. The Fool is a card of optimism. So, kind of very similar energies between the two. And I feel like it is safe for you to kind of like take a leap of faith, go on an adventure here with this energy. I feel you'll be very successful. With the Page of Cups and the Nine of Cups, you have this detachment card. I'm a big fan of doing this right now, like detaching from outcomes. I don't think we should be detached, but I feel kind of like going about things with no real expectations would be a good idea. Just kind of like going with the flow more might be a good idea for you. With the Six of Wands and the Seven of Wands, you have this domination card here. I mean, I actually feel like this is a good thing. I feel like you are dominating whatever it is that you're doing. It's funny because the Six of Wands is a card of excellence. Six of Wands kind of is a card of domination when you think about it. It's like a card of being really good at whatever you're doing or being cheered on for doing a good job. So in like work and business, I feel like you could be dominating for sure. With the Judgment card and the High Priestess, you have this status card. I kind of feel like you're gaining status as well. For some of you, this could also be you and another person. You can see there's two people here. So if you're attracting love or meeting a person, I feel like you could be attracting a person of status. I kind of feel like it's both of you, honestly. Like you both have status and then kind of coming together as more power couples, gaining status together type of situation. So love it. With the Eight of Wands and the Page of Swords, you have this inheritance card. Some of you literally could be receiving an inheritance. As I always say, you would know about it. If you don't know a person who's passed, then I would say you probably not. But what I would say is I kind of feel you could be also inheriting some energy because you have the Eight of Wands. Eight of Wands is kind of an energy of telling the universe what you want, and then the universe responds. So I feel for a lot of you, you could be just attracting energy into your life that you're inheriting. I would almost be careful of that because you could be kind of like picking up on energies from like the world, and maybe it's not your energy, maybe it's like someone else's energy. People always ask me like, how do I protect myself from things like that? And I always say like, whenever I'm feeling weird, whenever I'm feeling like some sort of weird emotion or whatever, I always ask myself, I just say it out loud. I just say, is this mine? Is what I'm feeling my emotion? And usually it's not. For whatever reason, like verbalizing it, putting it outside of your body like that, I don't know, works for me. So I would make sure that if you're inheriting like emotions from the world, that you make sure that they're actually your emotions, not someone else's. With the Four of Wands and the Five of Wands, trust your intuition. Again, I would definitely trust your intuition if you're feeling feelings and things like that, making sure that the feelings are yours, making sure that they belong to you and all that other stuff, and that they're not just like random emotions from the world, basically. With the Emperor and the Eight of Pentacles, you have this Rebellion card here. You're mixing things up, is what I'd say here. I actually feel pretty good about this card for you here, Leo. I feel you're kind of like mixing things up in your business. I'm pretty sure I said this to you in one of your more recent readings that I can't remember exactly what I said, but I'm pretty sure that it was you, that I said it's almost like you're turning something on its head. It's almost as if you're kind of like turning things around, but it's not like a turnaround. I feel like you're switching things around in your business, literally. So if you have a business or a career, you could literally be kind of turning things on their head. There could be like a sudden change that you're making. Some of you could be quitting or leaving as well. But again, if you're quitting or leaving, I feel like you're starting something much bigger. If you're not, then I feel like you're just changing things up. This is going to be a good thing. With the Ace of Swords and the Six of Swords, you have this companionship card. Definitely love. coming in for you. I really feel there's communication coming in for you, or you're communicating with a person, take it how it resonates, but definitely love. Could be a Libra. With the Page of Pentacles and the Lovers, you have this Harmony card, Sun in Libra. There you go. Right there, Leo, Sun in Libra. So I feel if there's love coming in, you have that peace and harmony right here. So I feel you're kind of attracting a person who brings more peace into your life. Look at all these birds, too. Birds represent messages. Like I said, there's a lot of communication for you this week, and I feel it's going to be good communication. So love it. We're going to pull 3 cards now. So feel free to pause this reading and think of one question. I'm going to use these 3 cards right here to answer your question as if I know what it is, even though I don't. So it's going to be kind of like a personal-ish reading. But you have the 3 of Cups, the Moon, and the 4 of Swords. I feel like you need to, whatever you're asking about, you need to manifest here on Earth. You could even be getting help with the 3 of Cups. 3 of Cups is a card of community and teamwork. So the Moon, to me, can sometimes represent manifesting something that you desire on Earth. The 4 of Swords, you can see this stained glass window right here. There's a person receiving blessings in that stained glass window. Putting it all together, I feel like whatever you're asking about, you need to bring it down to Earth. Again, I would just take the first step. This right here is totally taking the first step vibes to me, or I mean, just this combination is like literally saying take the first step. Sometimes I think we want to manifest something like love, but we don't do anything about it, right? So it's like sign up for Tinder. People always say, I don't want to be on Tinder. I'm like, well, okay, then you don't want love, right? You know, I always tell people, it's like, it doesn't matter if you like Tinder or you don't. If you want love, I would be on Tinder. Why? Why, right? Even if you're not going to use it. Even if you're not going to use it, I would be on there. Why? Because you're asking the universe for love. By saying, I don't want Tinder, or I'm not going to use Tinder, you're saying, I don't want love. Because it's like the universe has provided something that could potentially bring love into your life. So I tell people, do everything. Whether you use it or not, doesn't matter, but get the energy moving in the right direction. By signing up to Tinder, again, whether you use it or not, you're getting the energy moving in the right direction. Same thing with business. Maybe you don't have the money to start a business, but you can pretend, you can imagine it in your head. You can take the first steps. You can set up a fake website, for a fake business that you have an idea about, right? It's like, I think of all the famous people like Jim Carrey, right? He has a famous story about how he carried around a check that he wrote to himself for like $10 million. And then like years later, he made $10 million. So it's like one of those things. I'm a big fan of playing. And that's what I feel like this is asking you to do here, Leo. Pretty good reading, Leo. I like this. So thank you for being here. Really appreciate it. Make sure to watch your Sun, Moon, and Rising for a full picture of what's going on for you at this time. But thank you, and definitely enjoy your week.